All right, let's get this started. This is my survey. I've got all my items here. I think it's 99 or 98. 10 of them are just the top STEM questions. They're in this weird order because they're all randomized. To pull the data, it takes a little while to download all these, but let me go back real quick. I used this feature in Qualtrics where you can generate test responses. I did go through it myself and did it a few times, and then I figured out you could do this, so I just added to them. So I did 100, and since it does it randomly, I think only 55 made it past the yes/no question in the beginning, so I ended up with 55 usable observations. See, this takes a while, but I've already downloaded it, put it in my R project as example data. It's already imported, but we can look at it here. This is exactly how it looks when it comes out of Qualtrics, so I didn't do anything crazy in Excel. I just downloaded it to Excel and then converted it. Or I didn't even convert it. No, I just uploaded it here, so it's exactly the same. All I did was change the name. One thing I did have some trouble with, and I'll play with it some more, was getting rid of this middle section without getting rid of this first part. But I wanted to do it in R instead of Excel, so I wouldn't have to do that later. But anyways, you can see these are the 55 that made it. I did cut out the 45 in Excel, which I guess I didn't need to, and maybe I won't do that later. Regardless, here is my packages I'm going to use. These are for EFA. I'll load them all. The EFA uses a psych package mostly. I don't know why I did it twice, but I have some plotting stuff. I think car was here because I was trying it out with the car data set before I used mine. So I uploaded my example data as full data, so we can see it here. Is everything. What was really frustrating was all of my variables turn into character variables because of this weird second row. So I just kind of looked at it a lot. I have the describe function that showed me pretty much everything here, all my descriptives of each variable. So there's that, and then I looked at the dimensions for fun, and this is where I tried to clean it until I could get it into a numerical data frame. So here's what I have. This to the side was to get rid of these first 18 columns because I don't need them right now, or not for the analysis at least, and then the second row. Is that what I did? Yes, okay, so I got it how I wanted it, but there's still character variables. So I looked at it again. This makes sense. So the dimensions are 54 and 104, where they were 55 and 102 because I got rid of that one row and then the 18. I used the lapply function to turn them into numeric variables, and then I renamed it as DF for data frame. And then lastly, I had to get rid of the back half, everything, all the demographics, so everything from age until it printed out a sum score that I don't need, so I got rid of all that. And so finally I'm left with numbers for each just item. So to run the EFA, I just did an easy factor analysis. That's what the FA on my data frame. I can look at it. I've got all my loadings, all my, where are they? Yeah, some of my model fit indices down here, the degrees of freedom, the RIMSR, we have chi-square, RIMSA, BIC, TLI, and I think that's all I'm going to look at, but I can always add more. There's a function for that elsewhere. I can look at the loadings. I can even look at a diagram that is horrifying. Oh, beautiful. Anyways, and then I can look at a summary of my factor scores. I can plot them here, which is cool. I can look at a correlation matrix, which is ugly. We can look at our p-values for the correlation matrix. And then finally, I can look at the eigenvalues and the scree plot where I'll decide, well, not decide, but it'll tell me how many factors that it wants me to use. So there's that. Those are the eigenvalues. I have scree plot. You can see it's somewhere but in the 30s. Super fun. I can run an EFA with the 8 factors that I want, and then go through, you know, kind of all the same stuff that I did up here, and compare the results of the fit indices and whatnot. And then next I have my CFA. So now I want to go through the CFA syntax that I have. I have them in separate folders just to keep everything organized. I installed Lavon and Lavon Plot. Those are the 2 packages that I'm going to be using. They seem to be the most popular for CFA specifically, and I suppose SEM in general. But this is how you set up the syntax. As of right now, I just have my, the first 5 variables, the first 5 items for each factor set up, because I'm still having SMEs look at my items, and I'm not sure how many exactly I'm going to have for each one before the FA, and especially when I get to the CFA, so this is just kind of a placeholder. Let's see. So then to run the CFA, it's actually pretty easy. I just use the function CFA, include the theory I have, and then the data, which is still set as data frame. And then I have fit. I can run it, which I did. Alright, well, let's check the summary and see if that comes out any faster. No? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, we can start with, this is what you get when you do the fit. The estimator, it tells me that it did not converge after 983 iterations, and that's because these observations are random and goofy. So that didn't work, but when you run summary fit and then add the fit measures, you can get all of the different estimates, and you get your covariances. These were my latent variables. Some more variance for each of the items, and then normally you would get all of your fit indices at the bottom, but because it didn't converge, they're not available, but they would be a part of this. And that's pretty much it. The rest is just kind of some plot stuff that I want to play with. I can plot it, and there's my 8 factors. I can do it again and add my labels, and it'll change the little T, P, C, all the letters into actual names, and it'll have the coefficients. I can add the covariances, which is really funny right now because it does all that. And then lastly, I can like run it where only the significant coefficients show up, but not a lot of that going on. So anyways, this is what I got. Peace.